And that's what it was. And after the sparring, we respected each other. Like, it was a different type vibe after we sparred, honestly. Now it was like, oh, damn, bro. Like, damn. Like, we really started to get to know each other, you feel me? Because when he came to our gym, he was popular. Like, Shakur was the guy.
They knew him.
Everybody knew him, in amateurs.
One thing I can say, though, because, I've been seeing, we've been amateur together and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Teo can fight.
Teo can fight.
The boxing community reacted with surprise after a leaked sparring video appeared to show Keyshawn Davis dropping Shakur Stevenson. The footage quickly drew attention because it revealed the sharp timing and accuracy that Davis brings into training. It also reminded fans how serious and intense top-level sparring sessions really are. Davis later commented that Teofimo Lopez is a strong and talented fighter as well, explaining that he has watched both Stevenson and Lopez compete since their amateur days. His comments suggest that even though all three fighters have natural ability, the real difference inside the ring comes down to preparation, speed, focus, and having the right strategy on fight night.
Against Shakur playing out, because you want me to tell you the truth, like, this fight could have been the winner's bracket fight. In other words, they're jumping to it, but at the end of the era, it may have been Teo and Shakur, especially if you would never fight Shakur, right? How do you see this fight playing out?
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for that.
Keyshawn Davis spoke about that sparring session with Shakur Stevenson and made it clear that nothing about it was personal, it was simply competitive. He explained that once the round started, he found it difficult to land clean punches while Stevenson was able to counter him effectively. Even so, Davis kept moving forward because he knew that backing off would only put him at a disadvantage. The experience taught him a lot about Stevenson's sharpness and control in the ring and helped him develop a deeper respect for his skills. It also reinforced the importance of staying focused, patient, and mentally strong during high-level exchanges.
They come. I'm confident. I'm knowing I'm about to go in here and beat him up, right? Man, I get in the ring, man. Why I cannot hit this man, right? I cannot hit him, but he touching me. So I'm like, oh, this is different.
He different.
Like, he different. So I just keep, I'm 14, he's 16. I just keep going, I just keep going. So some getting through, some not, some getting through, some getting not. And I felt as if I was to step off the gas pedal, he was gonna get me. So I just had to keep going, you feel me? And I know he explained that a lot of times in interviews, like that's why he respect me so much, because in that sparring right there, I didn't respect him at all. I was just trying to dog him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it was. And after the sparring, we respected each other. Like, it was a different type vibe after we sparred, honestly. Now it was like, oh, damn, bro. Like, damn. Like, we really started to get to know each other, you feel me? Because when he came to our gym, he was popular. Like, Shakur was the guy.
They knew him.
Shakur Stevenson has been working with extreme intensity throughout his training camp, showing a high level of discipline and commitment every single day. Each session is treated seriously as he works on refining his technique, increasing his speed, and improving his stamina. His preparation is not only physical. Stevenson also spends time studying his opponents, reviewing footage, and thinking through different fight situations so that he is mentally prepared for whatever happens in the ring. His team emphasizes consistency, accuracy, and constant improvement in every area of his performance. By maintaining this level of focus, Shakur aims to step into the ring fully ready, confident in his preparation, and capable of executing his plan at the highest level.
Time away from my family. How you gonna beat me? Ain't no way you can beat me that way, bro. That's why I keep saying I'm the best. Niggas don't want this shit more than me. I know it. I know it. I want this shit so bad. So bad. Shit easy, gang.
Easy, man.
Easy.
Always easy, man.
You already know.
Always easy, man.
This supposed to be a sprint.
Let's go.
This ain't no sprint.
No, it's a job. Let's go. We ready.
Keyshawn Davis reflected on his long history with Shakur Stevenson, explaining that their relationship goes far beyond boxing. From an early stage, they developed a close bond, with Davis describing Stevenson as more like a brother than a rival. At the same time, a natural competitive edge grew between them, pushing both fighters to improve and raise their level. This balance between friendship and competition played a major role in shaping their careers, as they challenged one another while also learning from each other. Davis emphasized that their rivalry was always based on mutual respect and a shared drive to reach the top of the sport.
It's family, bro. Like I'm never ever fighting Shakur. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. It's not even gonna feel right.
What were some of the experiences like with you guys growing up like as young men and young teenagers in Virginia? Like what's some of those things that shaped you to know like he's my brother, man, I could never do that?
Yeah, the moment when I was like, all right, yeah, Shakur, I genuinely actually got real love for you was when I was going through my deep depression times. Even before I was going into the mental home, I used to tell my brother a lot. But then I started like backing off from my little brother because he was my little brother. I started talking to Shakur a lot about like how I was feeling and how I was thinking and what I was doing to myself. And Shakur was just giving me advice that I really like taking and like, damn, okay, I got you and stuff like that. And then I end up going to the mental home and, you know, like he calling me in there, checking up on me and stuff like that. I get out of the mental home, he pulling up on me, making sure I'm straight, making sure I get back in the gym, making sure I continue to do what I love. So he was...
During an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Shakur Stevenson spoke openly about his upcoming fight with Teofimo Lopez. Known for his technical skill and smart decision-making, Stevenson addressed those who questioned whether he was ready for such a challenge. He stated confidently that Lopez has never faced a fighter like him before. Stevenson explained that his combination of speed, timing, intelligence, and adaptability would create problems Lopez has not experienced in previous fights. He made it clear that his main focus is not on the hype or outside noise, but on proper preparation and executing his plan inside the ring. Stevenson also talked about the importance of staying true to his boxing style. He said he does not plan to change who he is as a fighter just to meet expectations or to get pulled into unnecessary exchanges. Instead, he intends to control the distance, manage the rhythm of the fight, and choose his moments carefully. By staying calm and disciplined, he believes he can control the flow of the bout from the first round. This mindset shows his maturity as a fighter and explains why many see him as one of the most thoughtful and strategic young boxers in the sport today.
They could say that, but I know he never fought nobody on my level. Like, I'm 1,000,000% sure that Teo has never seen nobody as good as me in his life.
He's talking about, like, once he gets through you, then he wants Crawford, names like that. How do you think he would do against someone like Terrence at this point?
I think he gets knocked out.
Can't even hang with him.
Yeah, he's too little. Bud is too big for him.
Right. As far as skills, though, do you think he's on par with the likes of Terrence?
I'm not gonna say he's on a Terrence Crawford level of skills, but he's very skillful. He got a lot of things with him that puts him at a high level.
One thing that was interesting to me was it seemed like you were going to move on from Matchroom, but now Eddie Hearn is involved in this, and this is a Matchroom event, it seems like. I know it's a ring card too, but he's promoting it here in the United States. So what is the state of your relationship with Eddie and Matchroom at this point?
Eddie's my guy. I'm actually not signed to Matchroom, but he's my guy. I'm a big fan of Eddie Hearn, and nothing but respect to him, but I'm glad he's the promoter that's on this card. I'm glad to share the spotlight with his promotional company.
So if he's your guy, how come you're not signed to Matchroom?
I mean, it's just business. If it makes sense, then I will. You know, if it come down to it and that's what makes sense, then we'll do it. But right now, I don't think it makes sense.
Okay, so are you just more of like your own man at this point? Your own entity?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Do you negotiate with the ring people, with Turkey? You just do that yourself?
No, me and my manager.
Bozy Ennis, a respected trainer and analyst, shared his view on the Stevenson versus Lopez matchup and issued a clear warning to Teofimo Lopez. He stressed that underestimating Shakur Stevenson would be a serious mistake. Ennis explained that Stevenson's speed is not just about how fast he moves his hands and feet, but how he uses that speed to control distance, avoid danger, and create clean opportunities to counter. He pointed out that fighters who rely mainly on power often struggle against someone with Stevenson's timing and movement. According to Ennis, the mix of speed, intelligence, and precision makes Stevenson a very difficult and dangerous opponent.
Apart. And I gotta tell everybody that what you call him is real athletic too. Teofimo. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight. You know what I mean? People think, a lot of people say it's going to be easy and all that. Nah. Teofimo can punch and he can box. And like I said, he's real athletic. So, you know what I mean? That'll make it a little difficult right there. You know what I mean?
I see a lot of people going back and forth with it. Some people think Teo got the advantage because of the weight and that he's athletic and explosive. Some people say Shakur is the better boxer.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
How you see that fight ending?
Well, they saying, you know, they got the weight and all that. I see Shakur box big guys, light heavyweights and all that stuff. Just like Moose, you know, he box heavyweights and put the heavyweights down. You know what I mean? I think that's the right move for him. You know what I mean? Get up, and I think he can really do good at that weight.
This isn't a stoppage.
I'm looking at a decision, not a stoppage. But then all according how Teo come in. If Teo come at him, you know what I mean, he gonna run into some shots. It might be over. You know what I mean?
Now, you always tell me it's the shot that you don't see coming.
That's it.
That power is speed.
Right.
So could it be a situation where people underestimate Shakur's punching power?
Yeah. I think Shakur can punch. You know what I mean? I think he can punch. It's just like I said, speed is power. You know, not them guys, muscle bound guys come in and they tell me, oh, he can punch and all that. Like I just got finished saying, like you just got finished saying, matter of fact, the punch that you don't see knocks him out. And they always say, man, I didn't see that punch.
Veteran boxing journalist Dan Rafael offered his own analysis by pointing out the strong backgrounds and different strengths of both fighters. He described the fight as a meeting between a highly skilled technician in Stevenson and a powerful, explosive athlete in Lopez. Rafael acknowledged that Lopez has the ability to change a fight with a single punch, while Stevenson relies on discipline, defense, and smart positioning. He explained that this contrast makes the matchup especially interesting because either fighter could take control depending on how the fight develops.
Teofimo has been a bona fide world champion in 2 divisions. He was the champion at lightweight, had most of the belts, defeated Lomachenko. He did suffer the upset loss to Kambosos. There were some physical issues there that we didn't know about going into the fight, not to make excuses for him. But regardless, he came back and even though maybe he didn't shine and scintillate maybe in some of those fights after that, when it came time to step up and take on the champ, which was Josh Taylor, he shined in that fight. So when Teofimo is matched, in a big time opponent, he's delivered, and he's done it, a number of times. And, he looked really good against Taylor. And Shakur, by the way, similar thing. He's been flawless through his career. He may be not the most exciting at times, but Shakur Stevenson gets the job done. He has won titles from featherweight up to lightweight. When his back was against the wall, quote unquote, and everybody had big expectations, and he had a lot of pressure on him not to make it a boring fight and all that kind of business. What did he do in his last fight against William Zepeda? He stood in the pocket, he fought the guy, and he won handily. He shut him out basically. He won like 10 rounds to 2. I mean, he fought a unification fight against Oscar Valdez, a fighter that, even though he might have been favored, thought maybe Oscar could do some damage because he was a good puncher and had a great amateur background and a great chin and all those types of things. And he went out there and he routed him also. I mean, so, these are 2 of the best young elite fighters in boxing. And their fight has been talked about for a long time. They spent most of their careers together at Top Rank, which was a fight. If you ever ask Bob Arum, he'll tell you that was a fight that Top Rank, down the road had their eye on at some point when they were going to be, closer in weight to each other. Because obviously Teofimo had started off, a little bit heavier than Shakur, but they would eventually catch up to each other. They're both Olympians, by the way. Teofimo he's American, but he fought for his parents' country of Honduras in that same Olympic Games. It was Shakur Stevenson winning a silver medal for the United States. I mean, they have all kinds of accomplishment. I do think they have a healthy respect for each other. They know each other for all the years being at Top Rank events together. They fought on the same undercard twice when the main event was Terrence Crawford, who was obviously very close to Shakur, but Teofimo was on those shows also. So, and they're doing it in the right place. This is not a fight they're taking to a place that doesn't make sense. All respect to the big matches they do in Saudi Arabia, but this is the kind of fight that belonged in America, and it didn't belong in Las Vegas. It belongs in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Teofimo is from Brooklyn. Shakur is from Newark, New Jersey, which is a 5-minute train ride from Midtown Manhattan. I mean, it's got everything you want to see. The Garden hasn't had a lot of big fights in the main arena over the last few years. The last one they had was the third fight between Katie Taylor and Serrano, but before that, it'd been, a couple years, I think, since they had a main arena fight. So
Former world champion and analyst Tim Bradley looked at the fight from a broader technical and historical perspective. He said the matchup represents how modern boxing is evolving, with young elite fighters facing each other to establish the next generation's leaders. Bradley compared this moment to the rise of Devin Haney and others, noting that fighters like Stevenson emphasize skill, adaptability, and strategy alongside power. He explained that Stevenson sets a high standard for precision and awareness, forcing opponents like Lopez to adjust their approach. Bradley added that young fighters watching this bout can learn from both men, from Stevenson's discipline and planning, and from Lopez's ability to apply pressure and assert himself physically. He described the fight as important not only for the two boxers, but for the sport itself.
Yeah, I think Devin Haney setting the trend. Devin Haney setting the trend, yeah. Yep, he's setting the trend. Now all these young guys starting to test themselves against each other now. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. We want to see who the best is, yo. And then the winner of this fight right here needs to fight Devin Haney. Why not? Why not? Keep it going. Keep it going. But anyways, look, this is a message, man. Anybody that's going to be working that hard, y'all better make sure y'all do y'all damn homework. I'm talking about any commentators, any host, anybody. Do your damn homework, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because this not going to be one of them fights where it's going to be rock'em sock'em, both guys hitting each other and stuff like that. No, it's going to be small, little nuancey type of things that if you don't know what you watching, you can't tell us what the hell is going on. All the fans at home going to be like, what's going on? You know, that they don't have the knowledge that you supposed to have to give us some food for our damn thoughts. So do your damn homework on this, okay? Oh, that go for everybody that's gonna be calling this fight, because there's every offense that, or every type of any offense that's gonna be landed, it's gonna have to be earned or set up. Both these guys are intelligent, right? Teofimo Lopez, explosive as hell. He's smart as well. Shoot, you got to remember, this man was the first man to beat Lomachenko. Yeah, well before Haney. Yeah, So, look, check this out. And you already know Shakur Stevenson. You know what he bringing to the ring. Defense first. Yep, defense first. You ain't getting nothing. I'm gonna get mine when I get mine, and when I want to get mine, but you ain't getting nothing. So look, y'all might perceive this fight as being boring and this and that. This is going to be one hell of a technical.
Another analysis focused on how Teofimo Lopez performs when facing top-level opponents. Observers noted that Lopez often reaches his highest level when he is pushed by elite competition. Against Shakur Stevenson, Lopez is expected to bring his best, using his speed, power, and reflexes to stay competitive. However, analysts also pointed out that Lopez must combine his natural aggression with patience and discipline. Against a fighter like Stevenson, careless attacks or rushed decisions could be punished quickly. Stevenson's ability to control space, read patterns, and anticipate movements adds another layer of difficulty for Lopez.
Lopez needs opponents like Shakur Stevenson because they are elite fighters. He needs that to bring out the very best in him. I just can't see how it's possible that whilst Teofimo, we've seen a ceiling with him in terms of he's been beaten by certain opponents, we know that he can lose in the ring. But I don't know if that's a genuine ceiling, because I think that his ceiling is actually one of the most changeable in boxing based on who's in front of him. And so actually, I think there's a very, very good chance we're going to see the best possible version of Teofimo Lopez in the ring against Shakur Stevenson. But we should talk about Shakur Stevenson before we get into the nuts and bolts of the fight, what it might look like, and why it is so risky for both men. Now, Shakur Stevenson is currently undefeated. He's 24-0 with 11 KOs. He turned pro back in 2017. He's the same age as Teofimo Lopez at 28 years old, both men in their athletic primes. He's 5'8". I mean, these are on paper heights, so potentially a little bit shorter. He could even be a bit taller than Teofimo Lopez.
That concludes today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.